everyone, I'm Crystal McGregor from TRW Women, and today we have Leah Greengarten from Our Travel Curator. Please tell me about your business. What's your elevator pitch?
Okay, well, I have a travel company. It's called Our Travel Curator, and we curate once-in-a-lifetime experiences. And it's now actually progressed because obviously travel has had such a devastating impact because of COVID. We pivoted to virtual reality travel.
I love it. I was only talking about virtual reality travel yesterday, so I'm so excited to hear more. Let's take a step back. How did you come up with the idea?
The Our Travel Curator or the virtual reality?
Yeah, Our Travel Curator.
It's quite funny. I was doing freelance video content for Qantas, and when COVID hit, all of that stopped. And so I didn't have a job, lost direction, and kind of painted and gardened and, potted for a little while. And then as the borders started to open up, it was just impossible to get accommodation. And I put something on Facebook saying, is anyone else finding it impossible to get accommodation? I work in the travel industry and it's hard. I'm happy to help anyone if they need help. And I had so many people write to me and tag friends, and that Facebook post really launched the business because I thought, I'll just, I haven't spoken to these people in 20 years. I'll just charge them an hourly rate for my research. And so that's how it started, just as a small sort of travel research company.
Wow. I love COVID business babies.
I know, totally. And it's thrived because of COVID,
And so you mentioned Qantas. Is that's what you were doing before this?
Yeah, so I lived in the Australian outback for a year. I was working at Tourism New Zealand in a government job, catching the bus to work every day. And after about 4 years, I was just like, surely there's more to life than this, and I just wanted more. And I went there on a holiday, and it was a beautiful spiritual experience. And I thought, this is it really felt like I was going home. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to come and live here. So I packed my bags for Alice Springs, and I kind of just said yes to everything that came my way. So I started off as a cook on tour groups. So going from Alice Springs to Uluru to Kings Canyon and cooking for all these people when tourism was booming in 2018 and 2017 to 2018. And then I wrote for the Daily Telegraph and for Qantas magazine and for AWOL. And then there were so many amazing stories. And because I'm from the city, born and bred, I was just amazed at how many amazing stories there were that weren't getting out to everybody, especially Indigenous stories. So I pitched an idea to Qantas in-flight entertainment and focused on First Nations peoples and getting their stories out. And they said yes, and Tourism Northern Territory funded it. And we went to East Arnhem Land, the Tiwi Islands, Darwin, Kings Canyon, Alice Springs. It was honestly such a dream job and such a privilege to be surrounded by such wise people. So I was really living the dream, and then that all stopped.
What a beautiful story. I love, when you're in grade 10 at school, did you ever imagine that that's what you'd be doing and how you'd be living your life?
So I know I've always loved storytelling, and even, what we're doing now with the travel platform, it's all about immersive storytelling. And a friend of mine actually said this to me once, because she was just like, it's actually story selling. By telling a story, you're selling something. And I was like, that's true. I'm selling a destination. So all of a sudden, when you think, writers can't make money, it's like, well, actually, I'm curating a story that is selling something, and therefore it is commercial.
Beautiful. Future of work, just solve a problem.
I know. Well, that's what it's all about. And that's what I learned at Tech Ready Women. It's always the first question is, what problem are you solving? And I started this business solving someone's problem, but not really knowing that I was solving people's problems. And that's what's been so helpful starting this second business, is that I've got all those foundations there. And it doesn't seem scary anymore. It's just a rite of passage because I've done it all for another business.
Yeah. And so what were some of those barriers or challenges that you had before joining Tech Ready Women?
Definitely the tech side. So I was not techie. And Tech Ready Women made me way more techie, and also gave me the confidence to go, actually, you are quite techie. And it pushed me in a way that I didn't think would be possible. A lot of the barriers for starting a business for me were around financials, and, you know, kind of like my strengths are PR and marketing and storytelling, so the creative things. So there was parts in Tech Ready Women which were focused on more financials, and the commercial side, which I hadn't always thought of.
So interesting, because the stories we tell ourselves are, oh yeah, I'm not techie, I can't do financials. And then when you're in business, you're like, oh, actually, if I'm going to do this, I have to be techie and I have to know financials. But it's not scary once you start in it and get that basic understanding.
Exactly. And you get the basic understanding, but then you leave the gurus to do what they're good at, like especially with Antler at the moment, you meet so many people and you're building relationships whereby you can tap into someone later down the track where I can give him my marketing knowledge and he can help me with the commercial side of my business. So it really is awesome. And also, you don't have to be good at everything.
No.
You can't be. It's not possible.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And those networks are so important to support that.
Definitely.
So you had the idea for Our Travel Curator, and then you're accepted into Tech Ready Women. Talk us through the program and step by step what you did and how it supported you.
Well, first of all, I didn't realise how much the New South Wales government wants New South Wales businesses to succeed. So that was a real surprise. So to have someone like the New South Wales government support programs like Tech Ready Women is incredible. And I actually met someone in the dog park, and I was just telling her that I was working from home and working on my business and it's a bit lonely. And she's like, oh, have you heard of Sydney Startup Hub? You've got to get on this mailing list. You've got to do this, this and this. And I was like, I came home and like added myself to like a million things. And that's how I learned about Tech Ready Women, from jumping on a mailing list. And then it just became so evident that the New South Wales government was like my biggest cheerleader. So much so that I even wrote to Josh Frydenberg to say, like, I was, working at Qantas, that all ended. I jumped on Job Seeker, that's all ended. And now I've started a business and generating an income and paying myself full time. And, so I learned about Tech Ready Women through New South Wales government. And from the moment I got into the program, and they made it so accessible, like there was no barrier, you can either get a scholarship or a part scholarship. And I applied for a part scholarship and I got in, and I thought that was terrific. And I didn't have any expectations. But then we did an intro with someone from New South Wales government. I think her name was Michelle. And she was like, we looked through so many courses, and Tech Ready Women was by far the best course that we came across. And, 500 people applied and only 100 people made it in. And it was just so evident from the get-go that it was such a great program. Easy. And it's actually really lovely to be surrounded by women that also want your business to succeed. And I don't know what it is about working with other women. It's a very supportive environment. And Antler is both men and women. And it's awesome, but it's a totally different environment. And it's not good or bad, but it's just different. And when women come together, it really feels like a sisterhood. So I love that Tech Ready Women is for women.
You've had some exciting news apart from the Antler program. Tell us what happened after your participation in Tech Ready Women.
well, I've had a few things. So we had a few wins with Our Travel Curator. We partnered with Maserati, which is the luxury car company, and we continue to partner with them. I've got another campaign coming out with them. I also built an amazing relationship with the entrepreneurs organization called EOS. So I do a lot of their retreats. And then my name was passed on to Antler from Tech Ready Women. So that Antler got in touch with me, and I actually thought it was spam because I was just thinking this is too good to be true. It was coming through LinkedIn, and it felt like, why do you want to invest in me and why do you want to support me? And then anyway, I told my mentor, and I said to my mentor, I cancelled a meeting to be here. And he said, oh, who'd you cancel? I said, Antler. He goes, I can't believe you cancelled Antler to have this meeting. And I was like, what do you mean? And even when I updated my LinkedIn profile, so many people got in touch with me and said, like, I want to keep in touch. I'm interested in investing. It felt like everyone knew about Antler except for me.
That's so good. And it's just fallen into place now.
I'm investing so much of my time in the VR space because I'm passionate about VR, and I'm passionate about people that can't travel. And this is going to be able to be an experience where we can go into nursing homes, we can go to schools, and just people that are anxious about travel, we can actually curate an experience which feels like a far-flung destination when actually we're just in their living room.
That is so amazing. And yeah, when I was speaking about it last night, I'm a wish coordinator for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I can see what a beautiful partnership that would be.
But yeah, I would love to take those kids to, different parts of the world, So that's for me, that's really special. And I think when you start a business, you need passion and you need purpose. And I'm passionate about travel because I love travel, but my purpose, I love helping people. And if that helps someone who's sick to escape their sickness for 2 hours, then that is really makes me feel like I'm doing my life's purpose.
So beautiful. So beautiful. All right. So is there anything that our Tech Ready Women Network can help you with?
Well, I am looking for a technical co-founder, and I'm open to meeting all sorts of people. Being like, I'm, 2 years into my journey, so I'm more than happy to help other people if, they're at the beginning, or if they just, need a kick up to say, just do this. Because so many people say, I've got this idea, but it's all in the execution, and you just have to keep doing to make sure that it happens. So I'm happy to be someone's cheerleader.
Yeah, that's so great. I love that as women, we sort of make the next step up the ladder, and then we pull up all the women,
yes.
Join us. This is where we need to be. So
exactly.
Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you for sharing your insights on the program. It's been wonderful to hear about your business and all the wins that you've been having. And I look forward to catching up again soon.
Amazing. Thank you, Crystal.